Yes, hello world. Your sisters are here, ready, open, and as fabulous as possible. These are your sweets, Makeda
and Melanie.
And you're now listening to Girl,
What?
Every show begins with a drink of the day, and our first weekend in 2018, what's a drink?
We are drinking some sparkling cider. We punking out today.
I know.
But
I know.
It's all good.
You know, the weather has been very wishy-washy for South Florida. I saw some really funny tweets, or memes, or videos. I don't know what they're called anymore. But this one video about this guy talking about, this isn't Miami, this isn't Florida, and he was ready to pack it up and go closer to the equator.
Man, I love it.
I love it. It gives you a reason to kind of layer, because we don't really have winter gear, or the few boots that we have. We'll pull that out in a heartbeat. I mean, I've seen some people with their chinchillas and coats ready for this little breeze, and so. Anyway.
No hot topics?
No hot topics.
What about this book that's out?
Oh my gosh, Lord
Let's talk about this book.
I really don't have much to say about the book except for it is fire. My mom in Jamaica was calling me and asking me to purchase Fire and Ice.
Is it called Fire and Ice?
I believe it is called Fire and Ice.
I thought it was something furry.
No, Fire...
Something
Fire
furry.
and Fury?
Fire.
Fist and Fury? Yeah, I'm having one of those.
It's something Fury. I know that.
I
just had it on the tip of my tongue. I should have written it down.
I know.
Anyway, the book, if you haven't heard about the book is not supposedly, it's revealing a lot of stuff that has gone on in the White House. And the
Fire and Fury.
Fire and Fury.
Yes.
And the thing is, the White House has tried or attempted before it came out this week to pull it off the shelves because apparently it's revealing a lot of inside information, and
it's revealing the dysfunction of the current administration. Funny enough, I know that a lot of people know that I'm very involved in politics, because I've worked on political campaigns, and by way of that, everyone assumes I should know, I should have the 411 on everything. But what I will say is I actually did have a friend that was working on the transition team, and for at least a month or two last year, maybe 3 to 4 months into the current administration. African American person, very few of them in this administration, and was giving me, I'm not going to reveal my contact or anything like that, but he told me while it was happening how dysfunctional things were. And, who am I to gossip or say, oh, I got the 411 on what's going on? I've had a casual conversation with my close friends here and there. But to now see that this book is out, and it's for real, confirming the stuff that I already knew.
Yeah, his homeboy, the one who he commended, Steve Bannon, apparently is a reliable source and he's given facts and information for the book. Yeah,
the thing is that what I saw something about how polite our media has been towards this person, and this person meaning our current president. Because
that's what we saying. This
whatever.
person. That's what we call him now.
It's whatever.
This person. I like that.
President Trump has never operated with real common courtesies. He said things, he's done things as if people, everyone paid attention now to what happened over when he was campaigning. And the thing is, what I saw and had shared, it's record that I shared, this might be the person to actually win. Mm-hmm. And I said that because of a couple of factors. The factors was the energy that was going in his direction. As negative as it was, we were giving him too much attention. We gave him so much free media. They were constantly talking about him. And it's one of those things that people needed this to happen. We needed Donald Trump to win so that, and I'm hoping that this energizes folks to not take their vote for granted.
I ain't gonna say we needed him to win. We ain't need him to win.
We didn't need him to win.
But y'all need to see the power of a vote.
We didn't need him to win, but what I saw when I was on the ground and working on the campaign, I worked on Hillary's campaign for the last month of the election, which is also another piece of the puzzle that was problematic. Like, you don't wait until the end to start bringing people that are from certain communities on board. Like, I really think that they operated very top down, if you guys that are listening understand that. And it's something that needs to change in general. We cannot just rely on consultants. We have to pay attention and talk to the people that are in these communities that are on the ground. We cannot ignore certain communities because this is a Republican area. This is, whatever area, like whatever those methods and ways and thoughts that people, consultants and political people, and the Hillary Clinton kind of done. You can't have that thought anymore because she was already a tough candidate to support. Yeah. And you saw that the momentum really wasn't behind her like that. And, people were very frustrated, especially when you saw the overly zealous Bernie Sanders supporters. And then when he lost and you saw those same people that was willing to write in another candidate or do anything else besides vote for Hillary. I was saying to myself, I said this like over a year before all of this, that there's a possibility that Trump's going to win because people they're giving him too much attention. Yeah. So anyway, long story short, this book is out. This is
I'm going to get the book. I want to read it.
Michael Wolff book suggests that the president's closest advisors questioned his fitness for office from the beginning. It was total shock when he won. Someone said that Melania was crying, that it wasn't happy tears. She was
crying before this election.
This is not what she had planned. I think she was planning on, living her life as a very kept woman. And, going to all the big cocktail parties and spending all of Trump's money and just, living his life and hoping that he dies, whatever. I'm not going to
Again, these are our opinions. We don't know this
for
sure.
This is all opinions. We're not.
But y'all know, y'all think it too. Y'all think the same thing we think.
And so, I'm going to say this. I really want to read this book, but I have never even read Audacity of Hope. I haven't read any Hillary Clinton books.
But I'm reading this one.
I haven't read any of the other books. And so I'm saying all of that to say I'm going to make it my business to not only
I want to hear the dirt.
I'm going to get these other books. I'm going to support my favorite president.
Tell me how those are when I'm reading this one.
Everyone is reading this one. As a matter of fact, someone actually sent me a PDF. So I think
send me that PDF.
So I think I might actually have access to this book already. But it's going to be something
I got some crazy stuff I got to talk about.
Okay, go ahead.
Before we bring or introduce our guest. Because she's here, but we're not going to tell you who she is. It's a crack?
Yes. It's a crack in the glass.
Watch your mouth.
Okay, I'll drink on this side.
Before we introduce her formally, you're going to hear her laughing and giving her little 2 cents in the background. But I ain't going to tell you who she is yet. We'll tell you in a minute. But anyway. Let me get this out the way. The Globes tonight.
Oh my God, that's tonight?
Yes, 8 o'clock. I need to be DVRing it. Not that I'm really into the Globes, but I love looking at the fashion. I think the fashion
yes, hunty.
It's high fashion, baby. I've seen Oprah and Gail on Instagram going with their little captions of getting ready for the for the Globes.
Shout out to Oprah and Gail.
Your twin.
Yeah. People are saying that, and you know what? I welcome it. But Oprah, your sister,
bring us on. Come,
please
do something for us. Let us do something. I don't know. Makeda is you.
Mentor. I'm looking for your tutelage and mentorship. Seriously.
Makeda is you, man. But the thing is, the cool thing about this Globes, because I don't normally watch it, is that there is a blackout. Everybody's wearing black. And the reason why they're wearing black is because they're pushing to highlight the problems of sexual harassment and gender inequality, along with race and culture and all those other things. So it's like 8 actresses. I did not write their names down because a lot of them you probably won't know, but 8 well-known actresses. Their plus 1 is an activist. So this is like a movement.
Oh, that's nice.
The Actors Guild, I guess, and yeah. So this is the 75th Golden Globes, but it's supposed to be like a monument.
I heard something similar that some of the actors were going to do something. I don't know if they were going to wear like something red on their clothes. I don't remember, but I saw it briefly. And
yeah, so I need a DVR because I'm missing the red carpet. The red carpet is like...
It's everything.
It's the everything. You want to see high fashion, like y'all, fashion galore on the Globes.
I know.
Takes it to another level. But anyway, number 2, my second point. Love and Hip Hop Miami.
Love and Hip Hop Miami. Good Jesus. Can we talk about that for a hot second?
Yes.
You know,
say something nice.
I'm gonna continue to watch.
Yeah.
And I think that the first episode is just that. It's not gonna be what we probably have conjured up in our mind of expectations on what we were hoping to see on this show. I'm going to get past judgment. I'm going to watch a few more episodes before I pass any judgment. But I will say, it has been a lot of uproar on social media. People have been pissed. One, these characters, because folks is like, who is they? They do not represent Miami. We do not know those people. Outside of Trina, Trick, Gunplay, at least, you know, those are the characters.
I don't care what you say. I like Amara La Negra.
Oh, okay? No, she's the breakout star. Everyone is
I don't care what you say. Homegirl is all right with me.
No, and she's gorgeous.
She's a pretty girl, and she put shade on. She shine light to everybody to say, leave her alone. I am black. What you want me to do? She was rubbing her skin.
She was African Latina.
She pulled out one of her videos from when she was a little girl. Homegirl has always had hips and booty, and she is black.
Yes.
And
she acknowledges that.
I like that she brought her mama to the meeting. I don't care what nobody say.
No, I don't think that she should have done that.
Listen. I mean, I don't know how old this girl is. I think she's in her 20s.
Yeah, but she's not under 18. Listen, look, but she's explained it on the show.
Yes,
it is culturally like, you know, it's what they do. Yeah. So I don't have a problem with it. I just think that.
And she said in her first meetings, because after that meeting, she didn't bring the mama no more.
Yeah,
her mama is very perceptive and has a very good discerning spirit about who she's around. So she brought her mama to weed out the riffraff, and I don't have no problem with that. Yeah. Now, after that, okay, leave your mama home. But mama look like she don't play the radio, and she sniffs out BS, and I don't have no problem with that.
If mommy is momager, then that's a different scenario.
And she's Mama Jerry, and she is.
Yeah, well,
Trick. Yeah. I don't care what y'all say about Trick, but I like Trick on the show.
No, Trick was Trick.
I think Trick was the realest. Him and Gunplay were the realest. Okay, Trina, I got respect for Trina. I'm gonna keep watching the show because I felt a little way about how she was handling her cousin, but it may be a justified reason for it. I'm just going to keep watching before I pass judgment. But I think it's going to get better.
It has to get better. I think at the end of the day, people are talking about it. And isn't that what you kind of want to happen? I mean, at the end of the day, this is not supposed to be some highbrow, intellectual type program. It is entertainment.
Yes, and I'm all over it. I love the Ratchet TV.
Melanie loves Ratchet TV.
We have to support Miami regardless. I don't care how bad it is. Because if it was Atlanta would be all over it watching it anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm going to watch the entire season.
Yeah. So
that's my commitment. Ratchet TV is what I do.
By way of me being at Melanie's, I will watch it. But if I'm, I mean, I don't have cable.
Oh.
You know,
You're gonna watch Ratchet TV.
I will watch it as long as I'm here, and as long as you've, you know, what is it? VHR, DVR it.
Yes.
As long as you DVR it, I will watch it for sure.
God is gonna forgive me for watching Ratchet TV. That is my enjoyment. That is my way of, you know, just freeing my mind.
Yeah, you know,
from real life.
Sometimes we can't always be serious. And look, like I have my Ratchet music. Like I love Miss Cardi B.
Oh, that's my girl.
You know, I am loving her. You know, the language
is
vulgar.
And I like her new song.
Oh my God, the new song with Bruno Mars is everything. It's
the video is
cute.
Everything.
It's so cute. I love, love. Again, it's a throwback. It's what? In living color.
Do it, girl.
So it was super cute. Kudos to Cardi B. She's not one hit. She making hits.
She making money moves, man.
She making money moves. So shout out to
regular girl, just making it.
Okay, so you know that was interesting.
Tamar and Vince.
Oh, yeah.
Vince was arrested.
Oh, really?
On Christmas. Yes, he was.
No.
Violating his restraining order. And then there's the drama of him supposedly having a baby. And, but they're still touring together. He's still her manager.
Oh, really?
And the latest I read up on is that Candy and the crew are not really happy because she was wanting to bring Kaya on stage at one of the last shows.
Wait, who wanted to bring
Tamar? And it was a big uproar because, you know, Tamar is having a battle with, she's at odds with LaToya. And Kaya must have said something about LaToya.
Oh, Kaya said something about Reginae. I don't know if she said anything about Toya, but...
Anyway, people can say whatever they want about Kaya and her show. Y'all making her ratings go up.
Yeah, it's funny.
Because her podcast is taking off.
It's funny.
Ratchetness and all is taking off.
It's pretty funny.
So anyway, it's speculation that Tamar may be kicked off of the tour, the rest of the tour, which I think they only have like 1 or 2 shows left. But
oh Lord. Anyway,
so, yeah.
We're always praying for their success. You know, it's interesting. I said I personally had no, you know, current events or topics to talk about, and we still was able to like.
Because I know how to pull it out of you.
I know.
Because politics is in your blood.
I know, and I constantly my XM radio is always on MSNBC, and shout out to Urban View on XM. There's some very interesting shows there.
Urban View?
I think it's called Urban View. It's station 126. I think Al Sharpton has a show on there, and there's some other people that, you know, if you guys are interested in listening to something from a more urban point of view, tune into that station. You will find it very interesting. So, on that note...
So, yeah, I had to get all my ratchetness out. Now, since we're having this conversation tonight, let me turn on my teacher voice.
Turn on your teacher's voice.
No more ratchet, because there might be some of my students listening. No, I don't think so. But I have 2 sides, and I know how to turn them on and off. Yeah. When I'm in teacher mode, I'm in teacher mode. It's not Mel Shin, it's Mrs. Shinholster. So that's where I'm going right now. So anyway, without further ado, we have the lovely, the beautiful Miss Sheneka Brown on our show tonight. And I'm going to let her introduce herself. And we're going to talk some education tonight. Go ahead.
Yay.
Where do I start? So I start education first?
Sure.
Okay. So I am Sheneka Brown, part of half a president of Inspire One Incorporated. It was founded by myself and my husband. He's also an educator. So we're like a team. I'm reading, he's mathematics.
Nice.
So what else? We both have a book out. So I wrote my book last year. He wrote his book. I wrote my book the year before. and he wrote his book last year. So I am an author as well, besides an educator, entrepreneur, wife, minister. So I can I have a list.
What's the name of the book?
Plug. My book is called From Process to Promise. It's a 15-day guide to awaken your purpose.
Nice.
So basically, it's really like a devotional to help people find their purpose. For a long time, I struggled with trying to find my purpose, and God had a divine way of having me to find it because He allowed other people to speak it into my life, and then also He used my very own children, and that's how Inspire One came to be, for me to find my purpose, which was education.
Great.
So that is my bio really quickly in one nutshell. So that's kind of really about me. But really how Inspire One started was I have 2 children, Josiah and Jordan, the love of my heart.
Aww.
I have an 8th grader and I have a 4th grader. So initially when I had them, they were struggling with speech and language impairments. At the time, I wasn't an educator. And so my son was having difficulties, and I would sit in the IEP meetings, and I was like, Mom, he doesn't know this, and he doesn't know that, and he's struggling with this. And I was like, the devil's a liar. I was like, the thing is, I tell my kids, and I still tell them today, I'm not in the classroom now, but even when I was in the classroom, I said, never use the word can't. You don't want to limit your ability, intellect, because words have power. Mm-hmm. And I say you want to make sure that you're speaking life, to yourself, as well as others. But long story short, it was that IEP meeting that really changed my life and drew me into my purpose. But long story short, I started to tutor my own son. And that's before I even became an educator. I started to tutor him. That's why I can tell people all the time the benefits of tutoring. I started to tutor him and work with him one-on-one, doing sight words and going over the things he didn't know, what the school was telling me he didn't know. So I started to work on those areas at home. And that's the thing we have to tell our parents. Learning begins at home
That's
first.
Right.
We can't expect the teacher to turn water into wine and to work miracles in 8 hours.
Yeah.
They already have to have the foundation at home in order to be successful at school. And so I started to work with my son at school. And I told the people in the IEP meeting, I said, when I come back, I'm going to have more knowledge to be able to take care of my son educational wise. And also I said, you know what? I'm going to go back to school myself. And I actually did. I went back to school. I did my bachelor's. And that's when I had my oldest son. And then I had my second son and did my master's. And then I started my doctoral degree. So, sometimes it takes circumstances to put you
to motivate you.
Yeah, to motivate you and put you where you need to be. And I can, and both of my sons went through the whole SPED process and ESC. Most parents will SPED, special education, went through the whole ESC process. But a testament today, and I want to just encourage your listeners that it's not about where your child starts. If you get them the early intervention that they need early, with tutoring, you got Team Shen has tutoring, Inspire One.
We tag team.
Yeah, once you get that early intervention, you can turn a traumatic situation into something, really a miracle. My children ran from being ESC to now both of them are gifted.
Wow.
So my oldest one is in 8th grade in Magnet. My 4th grade, I just signed the papers for him over this summer, actually, for gifted. And they were telling me he was 16 points from being declared a child genius.
Wow.
So from being ESC to being now gifted and 16 points from being a child genius. The thing is that, but the key is really getting early intervention. Most of our parents are not educators, but like I said, you have Team Shen, you have Inspire One. You get with these tutoring programs with people who are educators that can help your child get to where they need to be. And, you can prevent retention. You could prevent, a whole bunch of problems, self-esteem, because when our kids are struggling, they have self-esteem issues. But when you get that early mentoring and tutoring combined, your child's going to be unstoppable.
You mentioned something earlier. IUP. What is
IEP?
IEP. What is that?
Well, basically, it's.
I'm not an educator, so I'm hearing all of these terms. Some of them sound familiar. Some of them do not.
Yes.
So
Well, it's an individualized educational plan.
Okay.
So that's what they do when a child may be struggling in a certain area. Whether it could be not necessarily education, it could be behavior.
Mm-hmm.
It could be mental. Some, it could, academics. It varies in different areas. And so what they do, they bring a team together and try to find out what the target problem is and then provide resources to assist that child.
So was this presented as a kindergartner or at what, like when was this known to you?
I knew honestly, I knew when my child was in between 2 and 3.
Okay.
But I went through a program called Fiddlers. And so, they, with that program, you have to wait till the child is 3. Mm-hmm. And then they place your child in a pre-K program at a Miami-Dade County Public School even before they're 4.
Okay.
To kind of get the foundation laid. And then they go through the same process. They work with Miami-Dade County Public Schools. So my children were declared that even from pre-K.
Okay.
So my oldest one got out of ESC by the time he was in 1st grade, because you start early. And I started working with him at home. And then my second child went through the same thing, actually. I was like, no, not again. Then my second child went through the same thing, and he actually was exited out of ESC by 2nd grade.
But awesome. The IEP process, it can begin at any grade.
Yep.
What happens is when your child is what's supposed to happen is when your child is in a teacher's classroom and the teacher, based on their test results, based on teacher observation, based on how they know a child is supposed to be progressing, they can start the process to initiate an IEP meeting.
Okay.
And then so in the IEP meeting, that's when the team comes together and involves the teacher, administration, the counselor, and they meet to discuss the outcomes of the student, the academic, their academics, and evaluate what can the teacher do, what can the team do to help this child succeed or improve, and then they're monitored.
Okay. So is it a what schools were your kids attending, and because you hear about certain schools are not giving quality education nowadays, and there's so much disparity between public and private, and all of those types of issues.
These things are supposed to happen at any school.
Yeah,
an IEP it's supposed to happen at any school. Yeah. And it's something that is an expectation of a teacher. Okay. That's something that that's a part of their responsibility as a teacher to identify those students that might need to be recommended for IEP.
Okay.
And then, a lot of times after they have like an improvement plan or a plan put together, once it's followed, a lot of times they improve. Okay. However, this is where the tutoring comes in. And I think there's a misperception a lot of times, especially in our community, of what a tutor should be used for. And it's a new day and a new time and a new expectation in education. And I think parents need to understand that in this day and age, let me see how I can say this delicately. As a parent and as an educator, especially for our own, we have to be the biggest advocates for our own. Tutoring is no longer something you should look at to just get when your child is in trouble. Mm-hmm. These are the days and the times that, honestly, no matter how smart or how challenging how much of a challenge your child is having academically, you should have a tutor on deck all year.
So then, how did this, so you went from tutoring your kids to now full-blown tutoring others. Can you elaborate on?
It was because when I saw the changes that what's happening with my children based upon me tutoring them, and seeing that if you constantly stay tutoring a child, over time they're going to make growth, they're going to improve. And it was just as Ms. Shinholster was saying, is the fact that people have this misconception, and even though my children are now gifted, they come with me to Inspire One, and they get tutored still, because people, especially as she was saying, in our community, there's this misconception that my child has to be struggling. They wait till the child's falling off. They already been retained to get a tutor. But you want to even get a tutor, even if your child is already academically making progress, or your child is gifted, or, if your child is not struggling. Because the thing is, you want to constantly sharpen their skills. Because you could have a high kid easily drop versus a low kid, because they're already low and they can move high. But your high kids, you constantly want to keep them tutored. So with Inspire One, as far as with that, I want to do full-blown tutoring because I seen the difference that I made in the life of my children. And I seen what that did. So I wanted to make a difference in the life of other people's children as well.
So are you targeting minorities? Are you I want to hear that.
You know what?
Low income,
honestly, when I started Inspire One, really all of my whole career in education, honestly, my target has always been at risk and students that live in low economic status. Is because I grew up in government housing. I grew up in the projects all of my life to my adulthood, and I work in some of the struggling schools that's under watch and so forth, in some of our roughest neighborhoods. The school that I'm at now is actually the best school I ever worked at. Honestly, really, I have been in some of the roughest neighborhoods, and even to the community in which I used to live. And I stayed in those areas for a reason, because sometimes, they're cheated out of a quality education and so forth. And sometimes the parents don't have the time and so forth. So my goal was to tutor at risk and those kids that come from low socioeconomic status. So that's why we I think my husband and I adjusted our prices so many times. Try to make it right, to accommodate, to make it affordable, to where the parents can come and get the tutoring to something what they can afford.
Let me just say this. I did some research, because I don't think people really understand the overall view of what's happening with education. And according to the Washington Post, I was just curious to know, which I kind of already knew, what is coming down the pipe with education in 2018. So here are some looming changes that are happening in the federal government's role in higher education. And that's probably going to be happening starting in 2018 if it hasn't started already. First point, reauthorization of the Higher Education Act in 1965. They're trying to bring this act back. What is this act? Consolidation of loan programs. They're implementing a cap on the amount of money parents and graduate students can borrow. So you know who that's going to affect. Them putting a cap on how much money can be borrowed is going to affect those parents who naturally are the minorities who cannot afford college. So if there's a cap, where's the other money supposed to come from? So the object obviously is to deter minorities from going to college. They're going to end the loan forgiveness for public sector workers. Who are the people that work in the public sectors the most? Minorities. Yeah. They're gonna kill that. So if we're not forgiven for that, then there's less money that we have to contribute to our children's future. Pell Grant funding. What is Pell Grant funding?
Wow.
Those are the grants known to be awarded to low-income students throughout the year instead of just the fall and spring semesters. So it allowed students to take full loads of courses year-round to earn a degree faster and avoid taking on a lot of student debt. So that's why now, and they've already started cutting this money, but they're really going to start cutting it even more. That's why now you see a lot of our kids are not going to college. And then when they go, after the first semester, they're back because they ran out of money or whatever the reason. I mean, it's a whole bunch of different variables, but this administration, the powers that be do not have the best interest of our children. Mm-hmm. And I'm not just talking about African Americans. I'm talking about my Latino family.
We're talking about low income.
Mm-hmm. Not just low income. All nationalities, like middle class and down. Okay? If you ain't rich, if you're not rich, it's going to be difficult for you to send your child to college. Currently, our current administration, lawmakers are continuing to pull billions of dollars from this program's reserve. I know a lot of my friends that were in college that had Pell Grants.
I had Pell Grants.
Thank God for Pell Grants. I mean, what is this world coming to? We should be encouraging everybody to get an education, but they're not doing that. They are. You see this act back in 1965? They're trying to bring that back. Make America great again.
Yeah.
When do they claim America was at its greatest? In the 60s. And we all know what was going on in the 60s. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we can't make you all stop learning how to read, but we can make it very difficult for you to want to learn how to read, number one, and for you to have the resources to be able to stand up to the challenge and the expectations of college. And not only that, the money ain't going to be there for you. So what you going to do?
And that's the thing, what parents don't see, because in me starting my dissertation, and this have made me actually target at-risk kids as well. When I started my dissertation, what parents don't realize, that the setup is not just at college level, the setup is in elementary. Because what I discovered in doing my dissertation is that the federal government looks at test scores starting in third grade. As you know, we have the FSA in third grade, which that's the grade where children can be retained. Mm-hmm. So what they do is look at...
Not one time, not 2 times, 3 times.
Yeah, and so what they do now is look at test scores from third grade. Mm-hmm. And so they put it in subcategories, whether you're African American, Asian, Latino, Mexican, whatever the case may be. They put it in subcategories. And then they put it if you on free or reduced lunch. If you come from a low economic background, they look at all these subcategories for when they pull the test scores. So what they do is they notice that a lot of African Americans, a lot of Mexicans had the lowest test scores. So what they started doing was building jails around third grade test scores. Yeah. And so forth. And, parents were like, oh, no, you have to catch your child in elementary.
Kindergarten.
Right. But, exactly. You got to catch them early. You know what I mean? Because in K1, I tell people all the time, K1 and 2 is your foundational grades.
Yes.
That's where they're learning how to read. Third grade, you have to comprehend what you're reading by that time. So they figured that, guess what, where if you don't get it by third grade, where there's an achievement gap, there's going to be an opportunity gap. Where there's an opportunity gap where you can't find a job, do anything, and so forth, you're going to result in some type of violence, or you're going to drop out. Yes. So that's why you see right now in our communities where a lot of gun violence is going on, it's a lot of shooting and killings. It's not, if you notice, it's not adults that's doing it. These kids are 14, 15, 16 years old. Why? Because we didn't catch them early enough to provide that extra tutoring, those extra resources to catch them. Matter of fact, I was at a school where I had a child that was literally 13 in 5th grade. I had one that was almost 14 in elementary when I was at various schools. That's when you're not getting that early intervention and that tutoring. So guess what you think? That child is going to be the biggest one in elementary. So guess what? At some point, guess what? That child will start coming to school. They're going to start skipping. They're not going to want to be, other ways, because they're not going to want to be the tallest one, the biggest one, the oldest one among their peers.
And they get frustrated. A lot of them cannot read. And a lot of them have a kindergarten or first grade reading level. So the older they get frustrated. And they, just like adults, if it's something that we feel like we're not good at, what we gonna do?
We're gonna quit.
We're gonna find something that we're good at. Okay, so we're good at leading a gang. Okay, so we're good at messing with girls. We get a reaction, we get attention when we show out in the classroom.
So that, so like, do you tutor with the mindset of like, you're probably the only extra person providing that type of concentration? Do you piggyback and like, kind of talk to the like, is there an interaction with the parents?
Definitely.
Yes.
We have a part of Inspire One. It has to be parental involvement. If the thing is, we can help the child, but if we don't have the parent, the child can't go any further.
Okay.
To be honest, not most of the time, all the time, we sit and we have those one-on-ones with the parent. How can we help you? How can we assist you? Because most of the time, what people don't realize, the parent is struggling.
Yes.
They have some type of education deficiency somewhere. They'll tell you, child, I can help my child with this homework.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes our parents don't have the educational background. And sometimes they do, but they just may not be in education.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we try to really have those conversations with the parent to see how we can help the parent. And then also we do on Saturdays is we also provide mentoring as well. You know what I mean? So, because we have our kids that go through stuff in school, and that's part of the problem too. Not really so much, because I have one of my kids, sometimes it's not really academics. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're going through situations at home, and sometimes they're going through situations at schools, and it just affects the academics.
Exactly.
So, I tell people it's just not about tutoring. You have to really get to the root of what the problem is. Because I had one, because what we do when a child initially comes to us, we give them a brief, like, little test diagnostic to kind of see what the problems are. And I had one child, I was like, this child, and I told the parent, people will lie and tell you, oh, your child needs tutoring. I don't try to lie to my parents. I was like, this child doesn't need tutoring. You know what I mean? Not what she was describing to me. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, the child, I can still tutor the child. But the deficiencies you're telling me, I'm like, this child doesn't have. And then we got to the root of everything.
And it was something
from home.
Yeah.
And he was like, I just ain't want to. I was like, you know this stuff. You know what I mean? Because he passed my comprehension, did some phonics and stuff, passed that, and did it. But mom was like, well, the school is saying da 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 da. And when we got to the root of it, he was having situations at home and he just didn't want to deal with it at school.
Right.
So we were down to our last 2 minutes. And I just want you to be able to, if there's anything that some of our parents that are listening need to know, how to reach you, feel free to share.
They can reach me. We have a website. It is www.inspire1success.org. They could reach us via web. They can also call us, and our number is 786-365-8454. They can also come by and visit our facility. We are located in the heart of Miami Gardens. We're on 178 and 27th Avenue. Our full address is 17847B, Northwest 27th Avenue in Miami Gardens, Florida.
Fabulous. Is there, do you have a specific age? What is your age?
No, we go from K through 12. I'm certified K through 12. My husband's certified K through 12.
Great.
Yeah.
So Sheneka and I, we tag team a lot. I send her clients. She sends me clients.
You can have this.
So I'm more of like Team Shan tutoring is more like one-on-one tutoring. So a lot of times when she has students that are really, really like, low and she feels like they need a little bit more one-on-one attention, she sends them my way. And then when I get student parents that call me that they need something that's outside of my realm, or they want a bigger group, or or more math, algebra, I send them her way.
Okay.
But tutoring parents, we have 56 seconds, is very important, especially with, I just want to throw this in there with technology. The technology is hurting our kids, man. Limit it. I'm not saying eliminate it, but limit it, because their thinking skills are being damaged, and critical thinking that's required of this new curriculum is damaging them. So tutoring, call for Inspire One to help you. Invest in your child, invest in their future. Team Shen Tutor, and we're here also. It don't even have to be us. Find a tutor. Our kids need a tutor.
It sounds like put the tablets away and start from scratch. And on that note, you have been listening to us. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram and everything.
iHeartRadio.
You've been listening to
Girl What?